Hi everyone! Today Miss Rem is going to read you a storybook that's called Messy Magpie. So let's begin. The Messy Magpie. It's often been noted as years have gone by that magpie collect all the things that they spy. They love all things colorful, shiny, and bold, no matter how tiny, no matter how old. Morris the magpie is the same, it would seem, as he loves to pick up any objects that gleam. He takes all of them home to his nest in a tree to make it look special for others to see. Now one day, young Morris was struck by surprise when a gift was thrown down right in front of his eyes. As it flew from a car, Morris said, "Could it be that this human had given me a present?" He swooped down to pick up the beautiful gift, which was hard to maneuver and heavy to lift. He carried it home, though it took him all day. Then he cleaned up his present to put it on display. He wanted to decorate all that he could, so the next day he went to the edge of the wood. He flew to the place where the gift had been dropped, where he saw that a family of humans had stopped. He hopped down to search for his gift, and on the floor, but he noticed that this time they'd left many more, shimmering treasures amongst all the green. These gifts were the finest that Morris had seen. Each day he returned, and he couldn't believe all the wonderful gifts that were left to retrieve. His tree was soon bursting with no space for more, so he started to spread them all over the floor. The more these gifts that his human friends threw, the more his collection expanded and grew. Then one day, as Morris was sat in his tree, admiring the beauty of all he could see, he noticed that things were now changing below, that the plants were all dying and struggling to grow. The grass was not green like it had been before. The flowers were wilting, not bright anymore. His animal friends watched in fear and distress as their homes were soon lost to the mess. He returned to the stream, which no longer looked blue, but instead had a horrible muddy-like hue. The water was flowing more slowly that day as the big piles of rubbish were blocking its way. "Oh no," Morris cried as he gasped with alarm. "I never intended to cause all this harm. The forest is damaged, the humans weren't kind. All these gifts were just rubbish that got left behind." The pride Morris felt for his lovely display was soon returning to sadness, regret, and dismay. He adored the collection that he'd lovingly built, but his joy had now turned to a feeling of guilt. He vowed to himself that he would put it all right. So he leaped off his branch and then quickly took a flight. He soared high and low, looking out for a cue that would show him the safest and best thing to do. He noticed a truck driving past on the road, which was filled with a very familiar load. He followed the truck to see where it would go, feeling hopeful he'd find what he needed to know. Morris arrived at a bustling place which had giant containers and masses of space. Each bin had a sign marking what it was for, and the rubbish piled up, with each car adding more. Behind you can see there's cardboards, plastic, aluminum. "But where does it go?" whispered Morris, confused. To his shock, a voice said, "It gets crushed and reused." A seagull appeared and then said with a sigh, "It's amazing what humans can do when they try." "That's it," Morris said, and he knew what to do. "If I bring it all here, they can make something new. I might need some help, but I must make amends." So he called on a couple of very good friends. They fetched and they carried for most of the night, and they worked as a team till they'd put it all right. When the rubbish was gone, Morris looked all around at the stream and the flowers, the trees, and the ground. He desperately hoped that he'd made enough room for the beauty of nature to once again bloom. He planted, he watered, and nurtured away, till the forest was thriving and growing each day. Then Morris knew nothing would make his heart sing like the colorful beauty that nature could bring. He no longer needed the shiniest nest, and he realized that having a green home was the best. The end. Hi everyone, so I hope you enjoyed the story that I just read, and I hope that you understand how important it is to keep our earth clean and green. When you look around, when you go outside, you can see that sometimes there's a lot of trash everywhere. So that is making our earth very dirty. So we have to try our best to care for our earth and to keep our earth clean and green. We can do this by trying our best to reuse, recycle, and reduce. Now, Miss Cheryl is going to explain you a worksheet that you're going to be completing right after this video. Enjoy!